Anytime, get out here with us.
We'll start with Simon and Sawyer. Tell us the story on how you guys came to the United States.
Well, it was just our mom. She came there just looking for one kid, and then I was the one that caught her eye, and then she called home to my dad about that she found one, and then also him, because he was more of a goofball type of kid, and that she basically fell in love with both of us, and my dad basically kind of said, like, why don't you just get them both?
Simon, are you a goofball? Is that true?
Yeah.
When does it become a reality that you want to play hockey?
Me and him, I don't think we would have ever played hockey until my dad's friends were chirping him about how black kids can't play hockey, and he decided to put us in as a joke, and we kept playing it, and we ended up not being too bad at it.
And for you, Jordan, you know, you've had so much success, but who did you first look up to or idolize, or what was it about the game of hockey that drew you in so much?
Well, I had a lot of family members who played hockey, uncles, so my brother and I, we were just kind of next in line, and we were always, you know, whether it's pond hockey or at the rink, street hockey, whatever the case was, we always had a hockey stick in our hand.
Were there players or a player that caught your eye as maybe somebody that you idolized and looked up to kind of be a role model?
Zach Parisi.
Stall up front, Parisi scores!
My dad always liked him, and I always watch his highlights and how hard he worked, and being in front of the net was what caught my eye.
Yeah, I'd say Zach and PK were my two, because I had a fat head of PK since probably I was like 8 years old or something like that.
You guys were lucky enough to be the special guest of PK Subban and go to a Devils practice and a game. How special was it for you guys to have that one-on-one time and to be his guest?
Meeting him and seeing how the NHL or hockey teams, how everything goes, just makes me want to play in the NHL even more.
So for players of color, tell us about some situations you've been in where there's been some adversity along the way with your hockey career so far.
2 years ago, I played with a kid who was 6'3", and I wasn't even the biggest guy on the team. And what he did and I did, I get a penalty and he wouldn't, and we're in the same team. And then from that, I was going, it's not for how big I am, it's the skin and my color, you know?
He reacts to it way different than I do most of the time, because they just try to chirp me about my age and how big I am and stuff like that. I don't try to get it in my head.
And Jordan, you're known as kind of a gentle giant around here. Is there anything you can look at in your time, either here with Minnesota or growing up, where you had to face some adversity along the way as well?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when I was younger, you always have kids, you know, who make those little comments here and there, like you should be playing basketball or something along those lines. I've been pretty fortunate to not have to go through as much, you know, adversity that, you know, that I hear about, especially as you get older. You know, I think it starts to disappear, and you know, people look at you as a hockey player rather than black or white, you know what I mean?
You guys, whether you know it or not, are going to be role models, whether you choose it or not. And Jordan lives that life every day now with the Minnesota Wild. What advice would you give little kids that are going to be looking up to you?
Don't focus on the hater, just play your own game.
At the end of the day, just remember why you're there and the reason why you're playing the sport.